Hello everybody, it's Mick from Jester Bushcraft and it's coffee time again. It's been a couple of days now since we've done the micro adventure and I've had time to reflect, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to just tell you about the lessons I've learned using the solo camper setup, because it's the first time I've really used it. So that's what this vlog episode is going to be about. I did a video a while back where I split the Amdro boot jump. I took the saw to it and cut it right down the middle. I'll put a link up somewhere up here if you want to watch that video. But it was basically so I could use it just when I'm solo camping, when it's just me on my own and I don't need to make up the full-size double bed. So that's the setup I used on my latest trip out. So what did I learn? Well, firstly, having the single bed was more than adequate. It was wide enough, I was comfortable, at full stretch. My feet were just touching the tailgate, but I was on a slight incline, so I was actually edging down to the tailgate anyway. But yeah, I mean, I'm 5'7", and it was ideal for me. It was perfect. Width wise, not a problem, because I had the double layer cushions or double layer mattress, very comfortable. I just had a duvet, I had a top sheet. Oh no, I had a fleece blanket, then a top sheet, and then just a single duvet, my Batman duvet. So yeah, so it was really comfortable. So that worked fine. I'm just going off a little checklist here. That's why if I keep looking down, you'll know why. Yeah, it was definitely big enough for me, being 5'7". What else did I learn? You've got to have a place for everything. You've got all the storage underneath. I've got the window storage units there in the back. They're great for storing all your gear. So there's plenty of room to keep your stuff, but you do need to know where it is and where you've put it. At the moment, I don't have a specific place for a specific item, and I did find that I was thinking, oh, where did I leave that? And I was rooting around trying to find it, and so that was a little bit frustrating. So I need to think more about that. I'm sure I'm not alone on this one. I've got far too much gear for the size of van. I was paddleboarding, I was snorkeling, and I was doing all my filming for YouTube. So I'm getting more and more camera equipment. I've got quite a lot of snorkeling stuff. Wetsuits, bulky. Paddleboard, that's bulky. So I had all that gear plus all my food and bits and pieces for camping overnight. So it was quite tight. Even though I was solo camping, it was quite tight. And again, finding stuff amongst all the gear that I've got was quite frustrating again. So to have extra space or not as much equipment would have been better. So that's another thing that I've learnt. Because it's only a Citroen Berlingo and not like a big transit van or something like that, finding my way through the narrow roads in the Lake District, coming across somebody coming the other way and having to pull over, parking into tighter spaces, that's a plus. That's definitely a plus. Didn't have any issues getting stuck on narrow roads with other vehicles coming the other way. That wasn't a problem at all. On a side note, my underwater metal detector, it was the 9-volt battery. It was virtually flat. Bought a brand new one, a really powerful one, plugged it in and it worked a treat. So that's all good, so I'm pleased about that. The water container, 7.5 litre water container that I used, as opposed to the bigger one. I can't remember the capacity of the big one that comes with the Amdro boot jump, but the 7.5 litre I think I barely used half of it. I was brewing up, boiling a bag meal and doing a bit of washing up, and it was plenty. So for an overnighter, that 7.5 litre container is perfect. That's great. The cooking setup, again, the Andro boot jump comes with a twin burner meth stove, which is brilliant. I love it. I think it's really good. I just don't like the idea of having a gas bottle in the campervan, plus it takes up extra space. This meth burner is brilliant. I don't think they make them anymore, but what I did, because it was just me on my own, I didn't need the twin burner. I just lifted it out, put it in the garage, and that left the drawer space in the little, well, where the stove was, in the back of the Andro boot jump. That left me space to do my cooking. So I just used the Alpkit Brew Kit Jackal, as it's called, and that's the model of it. It's a little tiny gas burner stove. It's like a jet boil, but it's a cheaper version, but I think it's better. I think it's great. I just used that for brewing up. I used it for boiling the bag meals, and I've got a little attachment that you take the jet boil can off that you brew your water in, take that off, and there's a little sort of grill that clips into the top, and I then did my bacon in a small frying pan. I did all my cooking on my little brew kit setup. Didn't take up any room, and the windshield that comes with the boot jump, because the twin burner stove isn't there, when you open it up and lift it into place, it doesn't sit flat, it actually sits down at an angle. But that works really well. It makes it a little bit more sheltered actually, and I could push the Alpkit brew kit right into the corner, and I was cooking outside, quite a bit of wind, and it was fine. Protected it really well, so that I was really pleased with that. And it leaves the other side of the drawer space for putting your bits and pieces. I had a little cafetiere thing that I did for making my fresh coffee in the morning. You can do all your food prep on there. So yeah, that worked really well. So very pleased with that. I think I've already touched on the amount of stuff that's in the van and moving everything around. If you remember as a kid, those little games, it was like a little square sort of tablet with tiles on it that you had to slide round, and it was usually the alphabet or numbers 1 to 20 or something like that, and you had to push them round to get them into order. Finding things and moving things around to get to something was like that. So I did find that, like I say, a little bit frustrating. The window blinds, the thermal blackout blinds, were excellent. It did exactly what it said on the tin. It blacked out the daylight brilliantly. It was pitch black inside. I had the black shower curtain behind me, which isn't completely blackout, but it was fine. I didn't even put the blinds in the roof lights. I just didn't bother. I sleep quite well actually when it's light, so I'm not too bad. But no, I didn't even bother with the roof lights. But the side ones, obviously for privacy and stealth, they work really well and dead easy to put in and take out again. So really pleased with those. Tailgate on a Berlingo, if it's a multi-spa, something like that, it's going to have a tailgate. Same with the Peugeot Partner. To me, the tailgate is a must. It's brilliant. I can just push that open, lift it up, and you've got something to stand under. I was lucky I didn't get any rain, but if it had been, I could have stood under there, still done my cooking, got changed out of my wetsuit, whatever. So the tailgate for me is a must. If I ever have another vehicle, I will always go for a tailgate. What else have we got? One more thing, the cool box. Down between here, between the driver's seat and the passenger seat, I have my 8 litre Halfords cool box. I have it attached to a plinth that I made, and I have it fit. I just leave it permanently in here now. It's great if I go shopping and I've got a few bits I need to chill, I can just put them in there. I leave drinks in there for the kids, so I just leave it there permanently now. It's out of the way. However, when you push the passenger seat forward to make the single bed up, which I did. Set my bed up ready. I thought I'll set it up, get prepared, and then I thought, right, I'm going to have a brew now. So I made my brew, went to get the milk, and because the seat's pushed forward and there's an armrest on the side of the seat, I couldn't open the cool box lid. So a few choice words, but then I realised if I just tip the cool box towards me on the driver's side, I could just about open the lid. So I got round that. But that, it was something I thought, maybe I might do that differently next time. But it still works. It's just a bit of fiddling around to get into it once the bed's made up. So that's just something to bear in mind. For those wondering, I mean, what day is it today? It's Friday today. I'm sat having my coffee, which I need to drink because it's going cold. And the other day I did a video on a Wednesday. I do actually go to work. I do work. It's just that I work shifts. So I took 2 days off this week, so I've had virtually a full week off. But I only do 3 days a week, 12.5-hour shifts. So the rest of the time I'm off. So if you ever think he never seems to be at work, I do go to work. It's just that I'm on shifts. So yeah, that was that. I think that's about it. Just going through my list again. Oh yeah, there was one other thing. Again, going back to the amount of gear I've got in the car and the amount of limited space that I've got. Because I was snorkeling, I had to change into my wetsuit. Had to do that at the side of the road, which is fine when you're changing into your wetsuit, if you're quick. But getting out again, obviously, I don't want to be sitting around in soggy underpants, so side of the road. Choice opportunity, look that way, right, go. And that's what you got to do. If I had a bigger van, I could get in the van, shut the door, get changed, not have to worry. And when you're rushing to get your stuff back on, you always make mistakes. You always put one leg in the wrong hole or back to front, and then it's just a nightmare. So and when of course when you're shivering, that makes it even worse. So yeah, if I had a bigger van, that would be better. But that's just a little thing that. Oh, no, that didn't sound right, did it? You know what I mean. Right, that's it. I'm going to finish my coffee. That's the episode for today. So it was just lessons learned on my recent micro adventure with the solo camper setup. If there's anything you want to hear about, anything you want me to talk about, please leave a comment below. If you enjoyed that, please give us a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, which is up there somewhere, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on my next video. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.